Hey everyone, Kyle once again. And just first off, I want to apologize to I haven't been able to upload any videos lately because I decided I just want to take a break, and plus I'm busy with other things, and plus probably the reason why I just wanted to try to stay away from this franchise though, but I can't. But like I said, I apologize for uploading not that many videos though, but now I'm getting back into it now. Because I have to get back into this reviewing this franchise. I want to get through it, but I wanted to stay away from it, but I can't. So now, back on the Leprechaun franchise. Here we go for another crappy sequel, and it's much worse. Probably much worse since Leprechaun 2. And this is so horrible. It's not even hilariously laughable like number 4 was. I would put Leprechaun 4 over this one for sure. Because like I said, with number 1, I was more kind on it because I grew up with the film, and it's not great. It's not that great of a film. It's a bad film, but I can tolerate it. Number 2 is a shitty sequel, and it's much worse. Number 3 sucks. I don't care because you put Leprechaun in Vegas. Whether you change the scenery, it doesn't mean anything. Whether you put him in Hollywood or he's in New York, I don't care. It doesn't matter if you put him in Vegas. It sucks with the jokes, characters don't care about, lame deaths except for one, and I hate the Leprechaun's rhyming. It's annoying as hell. Then, like I said, number 4, it's hilariously bad. It's not great at all. It's so horrible, but there were some positive things I said that probably I gave more in the previous two sequels I gave for. So I could probably put this one, put number 4 as the best sequel of the franchise. Like, so I put number 1 as still as the best one still, because I could tolerate it. But number 4 is not great. It's horribly bad though. But I can laugh at it. So I guess probably say this is the one out of all the more positive things I said of all the films I said. Probably this one I could watch because it's so hilariously bad. It's not even good. It's that bad. But I was probably got a couple chuckles out of it as well. So yeah. And then you move on to this one, which came out in the year 2000. Now number 5, or Leprechaun in the Hood. And like I said, I didn't own this one. I was borrowing it because my brother owned these two ones, this one and then Back to the Hood. But since my brother doesn't have that big of a collection of films, so he has this stuffed in his drawer with a bunch of other ones. I don't know what he has. So gave it to me because it's just you can have a part of the gives you the other ones to just complete the collection. So why not though? Because I have 1 through 4. I didn't want to own it anymore, but since he had this one, I don't think he doesn't have number 2 no more because I think he gave it away or he lost it. So we'll probably have to find another way to watch the next one. So, but he had this one still. This film I would say is probably it's as worse as number 2, Leprechaun 2. Okay, so yeah. It stars Warwick Davis comes back once again as a Leprechaun. You have Ice-T as Mac Daddy. And to be fair with Ice-T, I think I did not mind him in this film really enough. I think he was halfway decent. Halfway. I didn't mind him to be honest, so and like I said, the film still got negative reviews. It has a 33% Rotten if I could talk right, 33% Rotten Tomatoes, which is the highest rating of all Leprechaun films. This is the highest rating one on Rotten Tomatoes, which I think the first film has a 30%. I don't care. I think this one should got like a 0%, like 2 through 4. It has a 3.6 on IMDb. It's a bit higher than number 4. It's still bad. No matter which way you say it, it's still horrible, and it's not even funny. Yeah, but Ice-T's in this, and it opens up with him. I guess maybe it's in the 80s or 70s because he has an afro. Him and his buddy go into this secret room, which is like next to a subway because you hear a subway train going by. They find a old burger and a beer, and that's I guess supposed to find. I don't know why, but then his friend gets pushed. He pushes his friend through another wall, and it's another room, and once you see the leprechaun once again as a statue with the medallion. Okay, now one of I said before, it's probably each of the Leprechaun films have no relations with each other. Each film is like a standalone Leprechaun film, and maybe because it's like this like one, it's like I could say constantly it's the one it's only connecting with number 3 because both of these films have him as a statue with the same medallion. Maybe I could say it's a prequel to number 3 because by the end of this film, the Leprechaun lives. It's the only film where the Leprechaun lives. And then he dies in number 3 because he gets set on fire because his gold got destroyed. So maybe I could probably say it's the prequel to number 3 because he lives, and it's only connecting one because that's the only 2 films where he's a statue with the same medallion. So maybe I could say it's a prequel, but at the same time, because it's probably like the only connection with this third film because Leprechaun's a statue in both those films with the same medallion. And he lives in this one, but he dies in number 3. So maybe it's the only one that's the only connecting storyline with those 2 films. So I don't know. Because there was always no logic or any sense of anything in this whole franchise. So maybe that's the only connecting thing. So maybe Leprechaun in the Hood, maybe it's a prequel to number 3. Because he lives, and then he dies in number 3. So that's probably the only connecting thing about it. But, if she could go back with Ice-T, he only wants this golden flute, and his buddy takes the medallion off the leprechaun, he comes alive again, and he stabs, he takes the guy's hair pick and stabs in the neck, and that's another not that great of a death either. Like I said, most of these deaths in this whole franchise is pretty much most of them are lame. So Ice-T sees him, and once again you get more of the leprechauns rhyming, which I hated. The rhyming in this film is much even worse than in all the other ones. Yeah, the rhyming is much more worse than the previous sequels. So then he loses his gun from his due to the Leprechaun's magic. He starts pulling a knife and a bat out of his hair, and then Leprechaun pushes him back, and then he hits a valve and blows steam in the Leprechaun's face and sends the medallion flying and lands back on him, and it freezes him. And then some years later, because he doesn't have the afro anymore, and then you're introduced to our 3 main guys. These 3 main guys who are rappers, and one guy by the name of Postmaster P. The reason why he's called that because for each song each rap song he says, they want to give a positive message. And actually, really enough, looking up, this guy is played by Anthony Montgomery. He's actually one of the main characters on the show, one of the Star Trek series called Enterprise. Now, I've seen episodes from other Star Trek spin-offs like Deep Space Nine and Voyager, but I never really got into Enterprise. So I think it was with the guy who was the captain, and was Scott Bakula, I think it was. I forget though, but this guy, he's one of the main characters in Star Trek Enterprise, really enough. And also, with Ice-T, I think this guy did not do that bad of a job. I think he was also a decent as well with Ice-T. But the other cast members I don't care about either. So you got him as Postmaster P, and then you got this other guy named Stray Bullet, and then you got Butch. And they want to be a hit because so they can go to Vegas. And they try to use some of the rap songs, which are horrible rap songs. And plus me being not the biggest fan of rap either. But these rap songs are horrible, and like he tries to show us to Ice-T, he doesn't like the positive thing, the whole positive message thing. He says he prefers gangster rap, throws him out, and they try to need money for try to sell something to get money for more equipment for their equipment. Like they have this whole thing with they try to sell this guitar, which is supposed to be signed by Jimi Hendrix, and they tell us thing, oh, he played this in 1971, and the guy pawn shop says, no, he died in 1970. And then it tells them to get out. And and the guys are so stupid. They use the same story again to this Chinese guy who like owns a restaurant, I think it is, and he knows, they know that the guy told them the guy died in 1970. Except they still use the same story. They died in 71 to the Chinese guy, and even the Chinese guy knows that he died in 1970. These guys are idiots. They tell the same lie, even though they knew the answer for the first one, but yet they tell the same lie as if they never knew about that. These guys are just a bunch of idiots. And so they decided to go on a plan to rob Mac Daddy. That's Ice-T. At first, Postmaster doesn't want to do it, but ultimately he agrees to it. So they break into his office, they steal his gold, and plus he also has Ice-T also has the Leprechaun the frozen Leprechaun in a glass case. And maybe it says why would he take the Leprechaun with him? Maybe he does a smart thing so that nobody else can get their hands on this thing, unleash the Leprechaun again. Maybe. So that's why he keeps it in a glass case. So, but anyway, they break it. They take the medallion off again, and then Ice-T comes in. A postmaster shoots him, but he's not dead because he has something right here or whatever. He has some gold on him, a necklace or whatever, and it saves him. So Leprechaun is alive again, and then ultimately he gets another horrible rhyme. It's like, unhand me gold, you thieving hoods. You got more loot than Tiger Woods. And that's supposed to be funny. I'm not laughing. It's a horrible rhyming pun. Horrible. The rhyming in this one was much more worse than all the other sequels. I hate the rhyming. I hate it. And the other jokes are not even funny either. But after he says that horrible rhyming, they shoot him. He shoot his arm off. Ice-T sees the Leprechaun is alive. He goes to the bathroom to this club, and the Leprechaun meets him again. Gives him a joint, calls it the bomb, and then he rips Ice-T's finger off. And then you get another lame death where they're coming out of the bathroom. This other guy pushes him back, and then some rap songs like, and the Leprechaun's like, "What is that?" And it's like, "That's rap." Rap? Yeah, I'm gonna take this. I'm gonna wrap it over and stick it up or whatever that guy said, and just shocks the guy with green lightning, and not even. It's another lame death. He just shocks the guy and that's it. No impact to it. No deaths in this most of the deaths in this whole franchise are not even lame. Oh, that came out wrong. Are all lame, not even memorable at all. Maybe you get one death out of the whole franchise I thought was pretty decently done. So Postmaster, they go to see the first guy at the pawn shop again, and which actually I do recognize this guy who plays the first guy at the pawn shop. I do recognize. I've seen him in one or two other films, but I just forget though. I know I've seen this guy before who plays the pawn shop guy, where he calls himself Jackie D. I know I've seen this guy before, but I just can't place it though. So they give him the goals, they give him all the equipment fixed, and Postmaster plays the flute, and the guys, they go into like a trance, and then they go to the Chinese guy, and the Chinese guy does the horrible dancing, the funky chow, whatever, and it's once it gets watching this just so horrible acting, you know. They say the Chinese guy, ooh, doing the funky dance, whatever, just. I would say this film is easy. It's like Leprechaun 2 and this. Which one? Honestly, which one is worse? This film or Leprechaun 2? I just can't. The way I'm describing it is probably this film is even much worse than Leprechaun 2. So then after that, back with Leprechaun, he goes to see the guy from the first guy of the pawn shop. I guess he disguised himself as a woman, or we had another woman in a trance. I don't know. It's horrible. It's so horrible. I'm not even paying attention. But ultimately, that guy, he gets killed off screen, and that's not the first time where a death is off screen in this film. So that's another way show that this film is horrible. And with another lame death, you kill a guy off screen, and he goes to the Chinese guy. He just chokes him like this, and then next scene, he puts the guy's parts in these jars. So then the three guys. This is how I'm yawning because I'm just best way to describe this movie. I'm yawning because I'm getting so bored with these movies. This is how probably yawning in these other reviews of this whole films because I'm bored with these films. That's how much excitement I'm getting from them. I'm getting so bored with these films. And I'm getting tired of them, though, but I want to keep on going because I want to finish this franchise and be done with it. So, the three guys, they go visit this... Oh, here's supposed to be another thing that's funny. They visit a guy in drag, who dresses like a woman. Great. We have... And plus, speaking of, that's not the first time we've seen it. It was in the last one, Leprechaun 4, where the over-the-top lead marine guy, who's a cyborg, he dresses like a woman. So that wasn't the first time you saw a guy in women's clothes. First you see this other guy who was like, as a woman, and later on in the film, when two of the other guys, they had to dress like girls. So I don't know what's up with these. And if these guys in drag, I don't know how it's supposed to be funny. The first film, the guy was over the top and horrible as the lead marine guy because he was being controlled by a leprechaun. And he was just describing this. It makes me sound so stupid just telling about it. I'm moving on. Yeah, they go to the guy in drag, and they play in this alleyway, I guess, and they use Postmaster use the flute, and it draws a crowd and makes everyone likes their music. And I'm thinking, yeah, your songs are probably that bad, which it is bad, and it uses flute to get anybody in a trance to like your music. That's how bad your songs are. So, the leprechaun kills the woman in drag, which the guys, they go to the guy's bedroom, and which you think that's the guy's, having sex or whatever from the way they see it, but it's actually the leprechaun choking the guy, whatever. And you see some blood, like he dug his nails into the guy's throat, and that's it. I don't know. It's basically choking the guy out. I'll just put it that way. And then they were in the bathroom. They come with a plan to burn the leprechaun. In which, okay, that's kind of convenient how one of these guys know how to create a flammable trap to set the guy on fire. That's really convenient how one of them knows how to make a flammable trap. So they lure the leprechaun in. The trap works. They set him on fire, and they run out. Then they go plan to use their singing at church. They play the flute. Everyone goes to a trance-like state again. They like the music, and for some reason, Coolio has a cameo appearance in this. Like the guy's like, "Hey, that's Coolio." For some reason, why does he have a what? It's like a random cameo. Like the last random cameo with Coolio was when I reviewed Batman and Robin. You know, when Alicia Silverstone was going to do with motorcycle racing. For some reason, he has a random pointless cameo in that. And now he's in this one? Why is he has all these random pointless cameos in such bad movies? Is his standards in film is that low? He has to do cameos in bad films? First in Batman and Robin, now this? God. But they're all singing, they make some like the songs, they're singing in the church. And meanwhile, back with Ice-T, he noticed that they have the flute is gone, so he has his bodyguard try to hunt the guys down. And when they finally catch up to him. Has him cornered and tells his bodyguard to shoot him. And the Leprechaun uses his magic to blow a hole right through the guy's bodyguard. And you get a decent gore effect. He blows a hole right through the guy, and you see there's a hole right through him. And also another thing, of course, the Leprechaun has a bunch of magic powers, and you saw him doing all these other things, and he has this one ability just to make him blow holes through guys, which, like I said, each Leprechaun films have no logic or sense of anything, so a standalone story though, but you think to yourself, oh, the Leprechaun could have done all that to kill everybody and get his gold back on all the previous films. If he has all these magic powers, he can do anything. He can imitate voices, he can teleport, he can regenerate himself. And he has powers, to take mind controls of everything, so I don't know why I'm going to, like I said, none of these films make no sense. None of them do. They just pull stuff. They're just making up shit as they go, basically. For each film, they're making up stuff as they go. So yeah, but yeah, you do get a decent gore effect where he blows the hole right through the guy, and Ice-T runs away, and they get with a Reverend guy, and they plan to trap him in a safe, like a Leprechaun 2, where they plan to trap him in a safe. And yes, and once again, like in number 2, they trap him in the safe because his weakness was raw iron. But I guess this point doesn't apply because when he was in the safe in Leprechaun 2, he was getting burned as he touches the inside of it. Here, I guess that point never applies again because, like I said, nothing makes sense of each and any of these films. So yeah. That's probably or maybe that safe is not raw iron safe, I guess. So I guess that part does not apply. Which in Leprechaun 2, his weakness was raw iron, and when he was inside the safe, it was burning him, or hurting him, whatever. So I guess that aspect when he's in the safe does not do anything. So then they might go back on their singing career or whatever. And with the Leprechaun, he gets one with a Reverend. He gets one of his mind-controlled women, and then the Leprechaun goes and sticks his hand right through the guy. And horrible effects when you see when the mind-controlled women, with their eyes, they're supposed to be lighting up green. It's a horrible CG effect. So after performing they're doing another musical, whatever, and Leprechaun comes in with the women and tells him to give him his golden flute. So uses the magic, because he threatens them, uses magic power to make straight bullets, point the gun at Butch. So he tells him to give him the flute, so he does. And now, of course, Postmaster, being an idiot as he is, like, he would have been fine because he just let him walk out with his flute, but no, Straight Bell goes and tries to lunge towards him. makes him pushes him back, and then because of that, he uses Leprechaun makes straight bullets, makes him shoot himself, bang, and it cuts away. You don't actually see him shooting himself. It cuts away. So you get 2 deaths in this film where 2 people get killed off screen. Great. Deaths that just keep getting lamer and lamer. So yeah, and plus due to Postmaster's idiocy, or what was that word? Idiocy, being an idiot basically. I don't know how you put that word. Him being an idiot, he makes Straight Bullet kill himself. And then after that, you get he has a dream within a dream within a dream. Because the first dream, where Leprechaun sees he has a blind grandma, and after that, he gets visited by Straight Bullet, dead Straight Bullet. So he has a dream within a dream within he has a dream within a dream, basically. Random. And so Butch comes up with the idea to he has a book for Leprechauns for Dummies. That book series, anything for dummies. And he comes with the idea to they plan to stone the Leprechaun because he's been smoking joints recently. That's pretty so much to everyone in this movie. Everyone's high on making this movie. So they play, but the thing is though, it's not ordinary joints because he has 4-leaf clovers in them. So he wants to make makes Leprechauns smoke these joints, but they have 4-leaf clovers in them to do the trick. But now Leprechaun has taken over the club where he was at earlier. Now he's taking it over. And we're together. Like I said, you get your 2 guys. Now they dress up in women's clothes. I don't know what's up with the recent thing with the number 4. Get the lead Marine in women's clothes. And this film earlier, you got that guy acting woo in women's clothes. Now you got our two leads in this dress in women's clothes as well. I don't know what is up with this joke of dressing in women's clothes. I don't get it. It's not funny. So, but they don't look like women. They must be they look like the ugliest woman you've ever seen. But they managed to get in. They give the Leprechaun the stuff for the clover joints. I guess knocks them out. I guess. They get the flutes, but then as they try to get out, Ice-T shoots Butch and kills him. And Ice-T tells him, we should work together because I have the one thing that would put him on ice forever. But Straight Bullet doesn't trust him in the goal because he goes and shoots him. Then Leprechaun pushes him down, but Ice-T is still alive. He tells him that he's right behind him. Says, "Oh, I'm not gonna fall for that, or I'd be stupid as you." Okay. Now, of course, this is one of the big issues I have. Besides all the things I said, besides everything I said. Okay, Ice-T. He has the medallion, right? It shows he has the medallion in his left hand. And now he's still alive. He's right behind the Leprechaun. He had the opportunity to sneak behind the Leprechaun and put the medallion on him, and it freezes him. He had every opportunity at that point to put the medallion on the Leprechaun to freeze him, and that would be the end of their problems. But no, Ice-T also being an idiot because he's not the only person who's being an idiot because everyone else being idiots. But him being an idiot, he had the opportunity to put the medallion on the Leprechaun to freeze him. But no, instead he says, Mac ain't dying today, and he goes and takes a chair and whacks him with it. This film is so bad. It makes me slur up my words up again. It's so stupid, He had the chance to put the medallion on him. He was right behind him, and the Leprechaun didn't even notice him. because he didn't believe what he said, that him being right behind him. He had every opportunity right there to freeze the Leprechaun by putting the medallion right when he snuck up behind him. No, but it says he goes and takes a chair and hits him with it. And now because of that, Leprechaun once again uses powers to blow a hole right through him. And once again you think, oh, he could have done that for all the other films, blow holes through people and kill them, so that way he can save the trouble of getting his gold back. So, and then because of that, since he killed Ice-T, the medallion goes flying again, which you think it was gonna land on the Leprechaun again. You hear him scream, ah! And then it cuts away with the back in that club. I guess Postmaster now I guess he's now become big, and he's singing in front of a live audience. But he's wearing glasses. When he takes them off, his eyes are green, with a horrible green lighting effect. He's being controlled by the Leprechaun now. So I guess if the medallion never landed on him, what a surprise. It make it seem completely fool us, even though we probably saw it coming a mile away, maybe. So yeah, now he takes control of him, and says, I taught him everything he knows. And then you get the totally atrocious ending. Yeah, the Leprechaun lives. He doesn't die. This is the only film where he lives. But the worst part of the whole film is when it ends with the Leprechaun rapping. Lep in the hood come to do no good. Oh my god, I hated this ending. I didn't want it. It's bad enough with his bad rhyming and learning to do all this rapping thing. Now we had to see him rapping. I hate it. I didn't want to see a Leprechaun rapping. I hated it. I hated every bit of it, especially mixing with the rhyming now. And just... I hated this ending. I hated this ending. I hated it. Lep in the Hood comes to do no good. Yeah, this movie ain't no good at all. And I'm not gonna do any rhyming or rapping, because I would suck at it anyway, and I hate it. So I'm not gonna do any of that. Besides, I would suck anyway. I can't come up with words off the top of my head. God, this film. Yeah, I would probably say this is the worst one. This is the worst in the franchise. I would say, yeah. Judging from my tone of this whole review, this is worse than Leprechaun 2. I would say now, this is worse than Leprechaun 2. Especially it made it worse with Leprechaun rapping. Yeah. I would say this is the worst in the franchise. This is the worst in the franchise, then Leprechaun will be next. Leprechaun 2, I mean. Even I would say Leprechaun Back to the Hood is better than this one. But that ain't saying much. This film is so pathetic. This is why I'm getting so burnt out on reviewing this film. That's why I took a break, because I wanted to stay away from this franchise. But it doesn't matter if I will probably never hear the end of it. If I was, oh, you didn't finish the franchise, despite no matter how bad it is. But I'm getting through it anyway. This is the worst. This is the worst film of the franchise. Yeah, Ice-T I didn't mind. The guy who played Postmaster I didn't mind. And you got one decent gore effect when he blew the hole through the bodyguard. But I hate the rapping, I hate the song. The song sucked, the rapping sucked, the rhyming sucked the most. The other characters I didn't care about at all, and you get two lame deaths that suck the most when two of them were off-screen kills. Man, I'm just getting sick of it. But at least I have one more to review, and I'm not reviewing Origins because it's a totally, completely different one. I'm not reviewing Leprechaun Origins. I am not. It's bad enough I have to review all 6 of these. But I gotta end it right here. I just had enough of this. I've had enough of this. I've already explained why this film's so horrible. And yeah, it is the worst in the franchise. It's worse than Leprechaun 2. It's worse than Leprechaun 3, and it's much worse than Leprechaun 4. The first one I would say is still better, but sequel-wise, Leprechaun 4 is still better. Hilariously bad though. So I'm ending it right here. That's my rant for Leprechaun in the Hood. A complete failure. It's pathetic, atrocious, and sucks big time. I'm done with this. So stay tuned for Leprechaun Back to the Hood. Almost there. So stay tuned for that. And I'll see you later.